Welcome to Loud Ass Silence. I'm Julia.
I'm Lily, and this is our podcast.
What is this about is probably the next question. We see things in society as humans.
Yeah.
And
we just want to share. And
yes, and try to inform, try to connect with people who may feel the same, inform people who may not know about any of these things, and bring awareness and talk about things that aren't really talked about. There's a reason we chose the name we did.
Yeah.
So I guess with that, let's get started.
Yeah, and disclaimer, no one has to agree with any of what we say. You can agree, you cannot, whatever. It's cool. We're just voicing what we think.
Yeah, most of this is opinions. To be fair, like I said, part of this is informing people. So throughout it, both of us may bring up definitions or like facts, research. That stuff, obviously, they are factual, so there's only so much you can really debate there.
Don't mind the background noise either. We're outside.
So there's only so much debating that you can do when it's stuff like that, because they are facts, it is research, it's stuff that's proven. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you can debate whatever you want. The one thing I ask, though, is just don't attack. If you don't agree, if you don't want to listen, if you don't want to learn or get the information we're trying to spread, then
you don't want to hear someone else's thoughts.
Exactly.
You
don't listen to it.
It's cool.
That's the thing. It's optional. You have clicked on this. So just forewarning now, before any of this, if you do just terribly disagree or do not want to hear it or whatever the information is, just click off. We don't feel like dealing with anything, and to be fair, we've told you now, so it's not our faults.
Yeah, like, you do what you do with your knowledge. Like, it's okay, it's cool. You don't have to listen.
Now, to get to the podcast part of the podcast, now that we've got all of the formalities out of the way, and introductions.
Hopefully all of them.
I'm sure more will come up.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. So we have started with kind of a base topic for this, and that's going to be stereotypes, and we're going to really start with stereotypes put on specific genders. So as much as it's stereotypes, it's gender norms, which we know is just gender norms is basically just a stereotype for a particular gender. That was a lot of rambling.
Woo!
A lot of words. I guess we're gonna start with naming some stereotypes that we've noticed for each of the genders.
Yeah, as in, this could be obviously both genders, with them,
but
involving,
particularly being put on. One or
of course, and like involving emotion, how the male has to not show any emotion, and like, if they do, they are called gay or picked on or whatever. And that's not, and
considered instantly that they are like less than or they are weaker if they have it, which is obviously never a good thing. And the kind of counteract to that is we are constantly seen as over emotional. And like, there's times where I'm sure that may be the case.
But we're humans. You have to show emotion.
And if it's over emotion, that's not a particular female thing. Like, I'm sure I'm over emotional. I'm a very emotional, emotion-driven person. So that's kind of just the way I am, but that's not because I'm a female, that's because
that's just you as a person.
And that's I think one of the biggest problems with stereotypes is in a specifically gender, like, specific stereotypes, is all of these things, like, I'm sure they apply sometimes, like, there's a reason stereotypes stem from somewhere. They stem from an original source where it did apply, but you can't generalize things, because it's all of these things, all of these stereotypes are person to person. You're gonna have things, and it's just not right to box people. Another male stereotype would be I don't know, just the sense of having to, always be strong. And
how
always
they
fix everything.
Yeah, they have to protect. They are the only ones that can protect. That no one else, like, they have to be the
Yes,
ones.
they have to be the ones,
They have to be
especially for their
man.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's even the, like,
man.
terminology we use in everyday
Quote,
society. It's terrible because we use it, and I can't say that I've never said be a man, because, but it is just common. It's just like,
people say
man up.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I've started saying
why,
woman up, though.
not even that, it's just, get up.
Yeah, just
Keep going.
come on. You got this.
Exactly.
Be strong, I guess.
Yeah, be strong. Like, it's very specific to it, and it's very hard. And it affects not only negatively, it affects both genders negatively, even though that specific one is for males. It's like, okay, so affects males negatively because they feel they can't show emotion, so they bottle things up, and bottling things up
is never a good thing.
Literally,
for anyone.
Like, psychologically,
No.
even isn't good. It's shown that talking things out and being open and being honest and processing through things is what you need to do to be able to heal.
Yeah, and that's how you develop as a human being.
Yeah.
You learn more things.
You change. You accept that change is a thing that needs to happen. And if you're not really processing things, you can't really do that.
You can't move forward in life.
And
in
it's
general.
really unfair that it's put on males to be that way. And it makes stuff difficult for, like, us women. We're always like, oh, they're not opening up. To be fair, they're not opening up because they feel they can't. And which is then difficult for us because then
like
we
that.
can't get. It makes relationships very difficult. Not even makes things difficult for us, but makes relationships difficult.
And not necessarily, obviously, romantic relationships.
Yeah, just friendships or any
whatever.
It makes connecting with a lot of guys difficult.
Yeah.
But again, not their fault.
No.
Just in general,
But
like, it negatively impacts as a whole is kind of my point there. And
hopefully they can develop themselves.
Hopefully.
And
mentioned the kind of fix it mentality too. It's kind of put on them, and kind of they put on themselves sort of that they have to fix it. They have to do something. They can't, like, I have to fix it. I have to do something. Do.
Yeah.
Like,
they can't. Obviously, I'm also a very controlling person.
Yeah.
Not like in a bad way, but I like to do things myself, and that's not a bad thing. It's just sometimes you can let someone else do something.
Yeah,
it's
and
okay. It's okay.
also, you can't fix everything.
Yeah.
There's certain situations that you can't fix.
Yeah.
If I'm dealing with something and my friend or whoever the male in this situation, say I'm dealing with, like, a family loss, you can't fix that. There's nothing, like, it's always, what can I do to
help?
You can't always, which is lovely, and it's amazing that they want to be there and they want to fix it, but there's certain things you can't fix, and trying to fix it when you can't fix it, it's something that just needs time or whatever the case may be. It almost does more harm.
Yeah, and fixing, and the phrase, like, fixing someone, no needs to be fixed. No one
It implies they're broken.
Yeah, and that immediately implies they're broken, and obviously someone can be broken, but
And it's not even broken.
you can help. You can try to help. You don't need to fix someone, because then there's something horribly wrong.
Yeah, and I feel like,
And
not even
some
broken,
ways.
but changed.
Yeah.
Like, saying the whole mentality of, like, it has to get better, it has to be fixed, implies that it's wrong and it's bad, and granted there's probably negatives to any of it, but because all the situations we're talking about is, like,
You can
trying
get
to
better,
fix anything, like illness, mental illness, whatever, all of that, trying to fix it implies it's wrong, and it's changed. It's different. It's not necessarily wrong.
Yeah.
So if there's things you can't fix, it's just, yeah.
That's okay. And you can change, and that can be a good thing or a bad thing. But
Yeah.
you can help and change someone. Like, if you're not happy with yourself, you can change, and that's okay. You can develop yourself and be happy with who you are and what you do. Everyone has the ability to do that.
Yeah. But there's certain things
Even
that,
if you
like,
Feel so.
you can't,
Mhm.
back to what we were saying, there's certain things you can't fix. So the ideal of that you have to fix anything is just
Yeah.
wrong. And it also implies that they have to be the one to fix it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm also someone, I'm a very hands-on person. I like doing stuff, and I do like control. Control makes me feel safe. I'm not a very controlling person, which is really contradictory to the statement I just said. I actually usually, like, go with the flow.
Play it by
But,
ear.
yeah, there's things like, I like doing stuff myself a lot of the time, just because it means, typically I know exactly what's going on, because that's something I have to deal with. There's a lot of things that make me very uneasy. So with that, like, a guy having to fix everything for me, it's like, I've got it, it's cool. And it can't particularly just be, like, them fixing it. Things work better when you work as a team to fix something.
Yep.
And the fix-it mentality also kind of makes it so something has to be done, and sometimes it can just be left alone.
And having more people is more, it gets more done.
Yes. Just always. It's
And, like,
any
cool.
situation. So there's that. So those are most of kind of
some male ones.
some male ones,
And,
especially the emotion one's really big.
Yeah.
Moving on to some female ones would definitely be that we're less than in many ways, and not even talking like, I know, like, we're definitely not seen as less than, like, it is in other countries, but even as in just, like, assumed that we're weaker, assumed that we have less of opinion, that,
Just based.
just based
on-
on the fact of we're female.
Yeah. Our gender.
And
Gender roles and
that it's also implied that also the woman has to do it all. It is getting better that, like, they're like, yeah, you can work, but it's like, you're gonna be working and doing the kids and stuff like that. It's that even though we've moved to women can be in the workplace and stuff like that, it's still implied that domestic part is there, and that's also
maternal.
a responsibility.
yeah.
And I get that to a level, and that's fine. Like, I am very domestic naturally. It's just, like, I grew up with 5 siblings. Four of which are younger than me, so naturally, I am very maternal, and I am very domestic, and I guess that tend to fit into that, like, typical female stereotype of, like, taking care of the kids and doing the laundry and cleaning the house. But that's my choice.
Yeah. It's
And at the
not
end of the
like
day,
it's on
that's
you.
okay. A woman
an
isn't less
individual.
than, yeah, exactly. A woman isn't less than if she wants to completely focus on work. That's her prerogative. And that's awesome.
Yeah. And they're not less than thinking
That they
about
don't.
their kids.
Exactly.
like whew,
You're a stay-at-home mom. That's
like
amazing.
good on you, man.
And it's the same
Wow.
thing with dads. Like, the dads, if they aren't the provider in the situation, that's okay too.
Yeah.
It's really, at the end of the day, it comes down to a basis upon basis situation, and that has to be okay.
As long as you're living comfortably and
Yeah.
you're happy with your life.
Yeah, as long as you're happy with the situation. And
It's cool.
there's gender roles in general. There's these simpler ones, the specific, like, girls have to be more dressed up.
Mhm.
Girls have to
wear makeup. They have to cover.
There's this, speaking of having to cover, is really kind of, there's two sides of that, because it's like, you cover up, then it's good. You're not being slutty. You completely cover up.
It's like, why are you
hiding?
up?
Yeah, exactly.
You're
and
hiding
it's like,
something. It's like, no, are you like uncomfortable with your body? It's like, no,
and not
that does
even
not
that, but it's also
necessarily
like,
mean
oh,
that.
you're a prude, and then like, oh,
Yeah.
fine, like, I
Yeah.
don't want to be around you, I guess,
Yeah.
would be the, it's like, so there's a lot of, I feel like, general social ones, and then guys have to be into cars and have to know how to do things and have to be action oriented, and even the simple ones are not fair and kind of dangerous and don't make sense. How you gender expression doesn't void your gender.
Yeah.
If I'm a girl, which I am, and I want to
Like, cool.
work on cars,
You
I'm
can.
still a girl. That's
That
still
doesn't-
the case. It
That doesn't make you any less.
void that
a
somehow, like, and that's not wrong.
No. It's like what you like.
And
You're just a person.
it
doing
doesn't
what you like.
have to, and to be fair though, okay, then it's like, I will say it's more accepted that, like, okay, that's fine, but then it's assumed that I also have to not like wearing dresses. It's like, no, I like dressing feminine. I actually feel a little bit uncomfortable when I don't dress feminine, which that's just a personal thing. That's what my preference to it. Like, right now I'm in a dress, I'm in stockings, like, that makes me feel most comfortable, and it's implied you can't then like male things though, and it's like, no, it's just different ways of expressing myself at different times in different situations, and there's no right way to be something.
No.
There's no right way
you
to
just
be. Exactly.
You just are. And on the other end, on me personally, I don't like dressing the typical feminine, I guess. Like, wearing dresses and whatnot. I don't like dresses. That's fine. Whatever. I just don't wear them. But I'm also, like, not into sports. I don't like doing sports. Like, and with you, like, cars are interesting, but I don't work on them constantly. I don't, like, do the stereotypical guy thing, I guess. I just, like, I can do what I want because I'm a human being.
Yeah.
As long as I'm not hurting anybody else.
Yeah,
I'll
that's what
express
it comes
myself.
down to. And this is, so we're both cis females. The whole gender expression not voiding what gender you are also goes for those who are trans. Like, I have
100%.
plenty of trans friends that have dealt with, like, wondering because they still like things from the other gender, and gender expression and gender identity are two different things, and it's very from case to case, and that has to be okay. And yeah, it's not good to push things on people. That's not to say, like, don't, like, I know then you have the whole opposite where, like, they don't raise them as any gender, like, it's like you don't have to shy away from gendered things at all. It's just if they want to do the other thing, then fine.
Yeah.
Like,
Go for it.
if it's not bad to give your little boy trucks, give him trucks,
Whatever.
give him cars, whatever.
If he's
but
like,
if he
"Oh, I like
asks
that,"
for that Barbie doll,
then why shouldn't you give it?
give him the Barbie doll.
Yeah. It doesn't make him any less of a man, and it's not gonna influence him to be gay. It's
Oh yeah, I love that. Oh,
and it's
sexuality and gender expression are also two very
completely
different things.
Yeah.
So I am bisexual, which means yes, and that also, first off, that's a thing. No, that does not just mean I'm actually a lesbian. No.
Or
No.
straight. It's,
Or actually
or you want to
straight.
just get with more people.
Like, that none of that's a thing. I'm sorry. Also, bisexual by definition is just you're attracted to both genders. That doesn't necessarily have to be equally. if
No.
someone is attracted to more guys than they are females, they're still bisexual because they're attracted also to that person that's this, or that group of people that's the same sex as them. Bisexual is just you're attracted to the opposite sex and the same sex. So anyways, that's a thing. Just, it is. But people find that out, and it's innately, you can't be, because you, wait for it, don't look gay. Don't look queer. What? So as soon as they find out that I'm bi, it's like, you don't look gay. First off, like, this is gonna sound, I'm gonna sound like an asshole, but am I supposed to be, like, dripping rainbows?
And, yeah. And,
or, like, covered in my flag,
and,
like,
yeah.
have it painted
Like,
across my forehead?
Like, love that. Love the representation. But, like,
Right.
you can't, you're just at the base of everything.
Exactly.
You're a human being. That's
And
just what you are.
The gender, like, how I express myself has nothing to do with my sexuality. I'm very feminine in just the way I am, like I said before. Dress is such, that stereotypical thing, which is fine if you like that. Like, I will
like
say,
what you like. It's okay.
yeah, I can be a feminine
It's okay
female.
to like
It's
something.
not wrong to be a feminine female, and it's also not wrong to not be.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's like,
just
you're lovely,
what you do.
You're a human, cool.
Wait, no one has to, like, we don't have to know you to know that you're a lovely human being. You're a human
By
being.
the way, you're lovely human beings.
Yeah.
But the instant thing is, you don't look gay or whatever the scenario is, and it's just like, those are two different things. There's no way to look something, and I feel like it's just, don't worry about it. Like,
And as much as someone can say, don't worry about it.
yeah, we get it's a struggle.
Yes, we're gonna worry about it, but hopefully at some point you will realize you do not have to worry about it.
And if you're one of those people who thinks or still kind of uses that basis on it, eventually with time you'll just notice that that isn't the case, and there's no right way to, and that's okay. Just sexuality and how you express yourself is different. Two different things. And that's the end of the day. The kind of gist of that. It's, expression is totally different from all the rest of it, because you're gonna express yourself in different ways almost always, and that's just how it is. And at the end of the day, each person is different, so it's all case by case scenarios, and you will find people that I guess look that stereotypical gay way, both male and female. Like, you'll find guys that I guess look gay and are gay.
It happens.
Of course, like,
it all stems from
yeah,
something.
there was obviously some reason that each of these stereotypes started, and yeah, so there will always be people it applies to, but just don't apply it to everybody.
And if you're a guy and you want to express yourself as the stereotypical gay man, go for it. If you love expressing yourself that way, express how you want.
Like,
if
I
you're
think
not a gay
fashion
man, you
would
wanna do
typically
that? Cool.
be
Yeah.
like into fashion, painting nails, stuff like that is the stereotypical for guys, like, gay thing.
Yeah, and if you're not, and you
Cool.
still want to do that, go for
If
it.
you want to be into fashion, you're lovely.
Oh wow, it's like
Help me out.
Yeah,
'cause,
same.
Like, actually not help me out, but like, we can get together, because I also am
help
into
me out.
it.
Help me out though. I just wear sweatshirts all the time, so
I don't. I'm usually in a uniform.
true.
Just constantly in some sort of uniform.
And you can express yourself however you want. That's just the moral of what we're saying.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like, you do you. Why should you be knocked down for expressing?
Yeah. And there's such
Being you.
stigmas around, like, so many things. And it's just hard, and it's bad, and we're slowly getting there. We're not that far removed from this stuff, and there is reasons that most people, I will say, I'm not gonna say all because some people are just ignorant.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Most, like I said, all of these things come from somewhere, and a lot of them were not that far from where they come from and where they stem from and when they started. So with time, it will get better, and that's part of the reason we do this, is because we want it to get better, and it's getting there. We have a lot of work to do, but we'll always kind of have a lot to work to do. And these are also, I think, a good point to make, is all of the things we just noticed are kind of American social norms.
Yes. And personally, we've never actually lived in a different country.
Yeah, but even
but,
culturally,
like, you know,
culture from culture, there's different norms, but also some overlap. So I am Puerto Rican and Dominican. Before any comments saying I don't look it, I promise I am. I'm aware I don't look it.
But you can still be something.
I'm not going to tell you my last name because you don't need to know that, but it's Hispanic. No. Like, I just am. If you don't believe me, you don't believe me. I'm not going to have a debate over my own ethnicity and ethnic origins. That's just idiotic.
And it's just cool history.
So, like I was saying, I am Puerto Rican and Dominican, so I come from, part of my household is Hispanic, so I've grown up with Hispanic culture, and I know things are slightly different, but slightly the same. Or some things are actually amplified. For example, going back to that whole males cannot show emotions, that's definitely something very real within Hispanic culture, and it's just, there's a stigma for guys to be anything but strong and anything but providers, and that's in any culture, but it's, I feel, and I don't know about any other cultures. I'm actually kind of curious.
We would love to
so
hear.
Please let me know, like, for, I guess,
Future reference.
the different places. I don't know what countries and what cultures have what stereotypes, but I know it's very much a provider based, like, you have to be a provider for males and you have to be strong for males, and because of it there's a stigma also around mental health, I know, for that too. Like, you can't have anything wrong mental health wise, and if it is, then you're crazy and you're weak, and it's like, that's not necessarily the case at all. And that's kind of a stigma for the whole, I know from what I've seen, the whole kind of Hispanic culture, they're very hesitant to sometimes admit weakness or issues. Granted, also other people who are from Hispanic culture do not, this is what I'm witnessing, just another disclaimer in there, like, this
Everybody's has a different story.
From, everyone's experience is different. This is what I've seen in all of the Hispanic families I'm around. Most of the families I'm around are Puerto Rican or Dominican. I don't know if it's different because I've been saying Hispanic culture because that's what I think.
This is your experience.
That's my experience with it. It may be different in different parts of Hispanic culture. There's not all Spanish. Obviously, there's Latin America, and then there's Puerto Rico, and there's Dominican Republic. Like, those are all different. It's kind of, the umbrella term is Hispanic, but this may not apply for all of those, so I apologize. I'm not trying to be, like, generalizing.
Yep, because
the literal whole point of this is not to generalize.
Yeah.
It's just, but in all of my experiences, getting back to what I was saying, it's kind of been found that there's a stigma around that, which is not good. Stigmas aren't fun. And there's stigmas around mental health in general also.
Yeah.
You're just assumed to be crazy. Not necessarily true.
No.
At all. It's okay. Like,
it's okay to have a chemical imbalance in your head,
or to just have been going through so much that it changed you in a way that you can't necessarily recover from.
It's
and I say recover like you have to completely bounce back.
When you bounce back, it can be something different than
it should
be something different.
New normal.
Yeah.
things often, if you've dealt with a lot, and I know and this is coming from me who has dealt with things, and I'm not going to get into specifics, but I've gone through my fair share of loveliness. Also, if you couldn't pick that up in my tone, sarcasm. I've been through my struggles was the point. Which I don't, like, I've gotten through it, whatever, but you find a new normal.
Yes, and that's
good. Cool. Like,
that's good.
New normal, whatever works for you.
You shouldn't go back to the old normal.
Not necessarily. It's okay if you want to. It's okay if you get back to something close to it.
Well,
get back to it.
Once you find your good, like, what you like, the good normal, the best normal
for you
as a person, and
great.
Like, if you're, because when you're younger and whatnot, and you don't go through things, or like once before you go through things, and then afterwards, you shouldn't go back to after you go through something, you shouldn't go back to that old normal, because then you're not developing as a person, and you probably won't be as satisfied with yourself, I guess.
I can kind of see what you mean.
That's probably
if I'm hearing properly.
Yeah.
I can see what you mean as far as, like, if you were growing up in general, changing in general is good. Yeah. I will say it's okay. Certain things...
Yeah, it's all dependent on your experiences.
Yeah.
And what happens.
I was going to say, I don't know, going back to your normal doesn't have to be a bad thing.
Of course not.
As long as you're not going back to your normal because you feel the only option.
Yeah.
If you feel change is what will be best, do it. But like, I know
if you don't, it's
there's certain people that, like, that is just the best place for them at the moment, and that the change they want that back, or they want to gain a significant part of that back, and that's alright. I've kind of maintained a lot of I changed, but not everything changes.
Yeah.
And that's fine too. Like, at the end of the day, like, I feel like some things won't change. At the end of the day, you're still going to be you. At the end of the day, you're still going to probably end up with kind of the same values and the same things you from before. Like,
some might change, but
yeah, or you may gain new ones or lose a couple, but
in the end,
things change. People change. I don't know how to I don't want to say people don't change, but at the end of the day, you are you, and you're gonna stay you unless you change it for whatever reason.
Yeah. And
like, I've found events don't really change people. The people want to change after the events.
Hi guys, Editing Julia here. That is the end of our video. We unfortunately were not able to film a proper outro to this one because of the equipment we were using starting to have difficulties. But I am here to say I hope and we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please, please, please like it. And while you are here, possibly subscribe. I promise it will not be nearly as long till we have another video out. Also, comment down below anything you enjoyed about the video, or if there was a topic that you disagreed on our viewpoint on, and we can possibly have a conversation. I'm sure Lily would love that as well, and I definitely would love that. And that is all. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a great day.